Utah State has a 10-0 lead on Colorado State after the first quarter of play in Fort Collins. To vote for today's Heart of the Game, presented by Medical Center of the Rockies, send us your tweets to hashtag MCR Heart. Okay, we will.
MCR Heart. He and MC Hammer used to do some things together, you know.
The ball at the 15-yard line. Opening play of this drive for Utah State after the change of the field. This is Williams. Big hole off the left side again. And he's out to the 32-yard line, a gain of 17 on the play.
They are finding softness right on the left side of this defensive front, and that offensive line is just blowing people up. There's nobody touches him until he's 15 yards down the field.
Little gain on the play here. Pick up 3 by Keaton. Second down and 7. Kerwin Williams now 7 carries for 62 yards in the game.
Wow, it's 9 yards to carry.
Got to credit those guys in the middle that we've been talking about. Tyler Larson is the center. He goes 6'4", 312. Jamie Markosian, the left guard, 6'2", 302 out of Salt Lake City. Eric Schultz is the right guard. Another 300-pounder.
Little guys.
This is Williams bouncing outside after being initially hit. And then he moves out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So third down coming up. Here are the numbers from the first quarter of play. Utah State 55 yards on the ground, 53 yards through the air. That's what you call a balanced offense. Very little production for CSU. And one of the reasons why they just have not been able again to convert on third down.
Well, both teams talked about it, and for you throwing the ball on most of the plays, the ball is out of his hands in 2.5 seconds or so. And then on the other side, we see Grayson just holding on the ball a little bit longer. I think if he starts throwing the ball a little bit sooner, he'll become more and more effective.
Keaton so far 7 of 10 through the air for 60 yards. Right at his season average, he's a 68% thrower. And here he's going to run. And he uses the umpire as a blocker. And then is brought down at the 38-yard line. Third down coming up.
That's why a lot of teams will spy on him. You empty the middle of the field, and he's like, oh, thank you. I'll take those 6 or 7 yards. So when you have a quarterback like this who's so mobile, you almost have to commit one of your defenders. Your sole job is to spy on the quarterback. We'll try to cover the rest with the other 10 guys.
Utah State, third down and 4, 3 of 5 on third down conversions. Middle screen, pass complete, first down gain.
That was a nice play. They had a double screen, so he could have gone on either side of the field, and so he's got one screen setting up over here. He's got another one on the other side of the field, and he takes the one that's open, and CSU has a hard time covering 2 screens at the same time.
Chuck Jacobs on the other end of the pass. I think the indication was that they wanted to make sure that one of the Utah State players who lost his helmet was not along the offensive line. It looked like it was 74 Kevin Wempe, who's anything but 6'5", 296. First and 10. The ball at the 44 to the air, and that pass off the mark intended for Chuck Jacobs. Shaq Bell, number 3, covering on the play, and Chucky Keaton is limping on the play after the play.
Well, Alex Tucci said hello on that play. You know, Chucky hold on that ball a little bit longer to throw it down deep and paid the price for it. Alex Tucci coming in right at the end of this play and made a big hit.
Second down and 10. And that's near first down territory.
You know, this is just great.
Cameron Webb completed.
Look at that hair, man. It's got highlights and lowlights. You know, this is just great play calling right here. You know, you set up the play where you're going to have the quick screen. Yeah, you got all these defenders on the inside. Let's throw the ball out here quickly. Look at that. I mean, he just got that done last week. Went and got his hair did. But, you know, now you throw the ball out there. You got a 2-on-1 situation. You're able to pick up some yards.
10th first down for Utah State. And that's Williams.
4-yard gain.
Go ahead.
It just looks like the way they're running the ball, they will be able to run it as much as they want to in this game. If they want Kerwin Williams to have 160 yards, he'll have 160 yards today.
Well, if we had to give out a Player of the Game award right about now, I'd give it to 58 Tyler Larson, the center. He's been just blowing open huge holes right up the middle. Keaton has taken advantage, and so has Williams. Second down and 6.
First team all WAC last year, and as you said, is on all the watch lists this season.
That's the tight end, Kellen Bartlett, and that's another Utah State first down.
So it's just a crossing route. You send the tight end across the formation, and the linebackers have to be able to react to him, but not before he can get about 13, 14 yards.
Deeper into Ram territory to the 33-yard line. Still early in the second quarter, and Utah State has the 10-0 lead. Colorado State has had its problems in the first quarter. Rams have now been outscored 51-0, and that is Keaton. Great tackle by Shaq Bell, but not until Keaton picks up another Utah State first down. Great play fake to Williams up the middle.
Eli Edwards almost makes this play. Here he is coming off the edge, or he already inside, but he went right at the play, and then the quarterback is able to dodge him, but he was right there, almost able to make the play in the backfield.
That is a great tackle by Bell. To the 21-yard line, first down and 10. Travis Reynolds in motion. Keaton to throw again and to run again, and he's brought down from behind by Corey James, who racks up another sack. It's his 5th sack of the season.
Corey James has now had 5 sacks in 4 games, and he just keeps hustling. This play goes on longer than it should have. Quarterback's holding the ball, and he says, nope, you're not allowed to hold it that long, son. Sit down, take a break.
James is a freshman out of Del Rio, Texas. He had 3 sacks in the opener against Colorado. He now has 5, which, by the way, is now the freshman record for sacks in a season by a CSU Ram.
He is coming into this game. He was 8th in the nation in sacks.
Loss of 7. Flipping it to Williams. Left side to the 23-yard line. That's a gain of 4 inside 10 minutes to play in the second quarter.
And I think that the way the game is going right now, Utah State looks very comfortable. They're methodically running their offense. They've had the ball for a lot. CSU to stop this, hold it to a field goal, keep this game manageable.
Third down and 12. A lot of time for Keaton. He goes over the middle. That pass caught by Austin. It's a first down and more. He spun down inside the 2, just shy of the 1. Big play on third down and 12.
These are the plays that define you as a team. You 3rd and 12, you need a first down. You get 20. You get more than you need. A crossing route, they're playing a soft zone behind it. He runs right through 3 or 4 different zones, and nobody picks him up. Nobody stops him. Now they got a 1st and goal.
Gain of 21 on the play. This is Hill. Picked his spot off the left side and is turned away at the 1. Second down and goal coming up.
1 yard on the game.
So that this defense gets more stout once they get close to the goal line. They need to see more of this toughness out in the field of play. That's a nice stick right there by Davis. But it's too close to the goal line. The stakes are too high now.
Second down and goal from the 1. And Williams is smothered in the backfield, falls forward to the line of scrimmage. Edwards is the one who hit him and brought him down.
Look at the penetration that Edwards gets. He fights through from the backside of the play, fights through the guard's block, and is in there to make the tackle.
Eli Edwards, a junior from American Samoa. Another third down. 6 of 8 on third down conversions. And a whistle stops play, and a timeout is called by Gary Anderson. Second timeout used by Utah State.
Second. Timeout.
So that stops the clock with 7:55 left to play before halftime, and the Aggies a yard away from the end zone.
You know, I think both coaches are seeing some interesting things out of their teams right now. I think for Jim McElwain, he's seeing some toughness out of his defense. You know, they're giving up some big plays, but then they're responding here at the goal line. They're responding. This is the second goal line stand that they've had. The first one they won, forced a field goal. The second one they have a chance to win. And so even though they're not playing well overall on this drive, they are having some moments where they rise up. And I think on the other sideline, Gary Anderson, he's got to be pretty pleased with just his team looks methodical. It looks like they can pretty much do what they want to. They're going to get stopped here and there, but for the most part, 80% of the time, we're going to achieve what we set out to achieve on these plays.
Utah State looks like it has a program. The way they operate, the way they move, everything about them it is evidence of a school that has given a good coach a good amount of time to put a foundation in place and to start building a winner. And this is a program that now has a lot of respect. Here's Williams up the middle, met at the goal line, and he's turned away.
What a moment for the Rams. Shaq Barrett leading the charge right there. They needed a play like this, so they had first and goal inside the 5. The Rams make 3 consecutive stops on 3 consecutive running plays. Just great, great, great performance.
Now they're going to have to make another stop because it looks like Utah State's going to go for it on 4th down and goal.
Why not? If you miss it, you give it the ball to them on the 1-yard line.
Keaton to throw, lobs it out there, and that pass is caught. Touchdown.
Well,
Matt Austin, number 4, hauled it down over Shaq Bell just inside the sideline.
Big 4th down play, and you know this is he's got plenty of, or doesn't need plenty of time, but you know there's a little push off there. If it had been reversed, if the defender had been pushing, that little push, well, I guess it's not really much of a push. It's just a good play. I give the man credit where credit is due.
I can't believe they're not going to take another look at that. That is right there along the sideline. But given the angles that we saw, I don't think any of them are definitive, but it is close enough that I think you got to at least take a little bit of a look. It's a nice catch after the hand fighting with Shaq Bell.
Yeah, it looks like his toes come down inbounds, even if his heels.
Well, while they take a look at it, and this is probably going to be your best view, while they take a look at it, we're going to take a break. If it stands, it's a 4th down converted, and Utah State will be up 16-0 with the point after to follow. We'll see what the verdict is when we come back. A whole lot steeper because Matt Austin, number 4, just hauled in a 1-yard touchdown pass. Thomas Kaufman is deep to receive the kick, as is number 17, Jason Oden. Jim McElwain, he knew this was going to be a tough rebuilding process at Colorado State. And Kaufman fields it, and Oden turns around and says, "Stay right there." So the Rams will have a 1st down and 10 at the 25. And we talked about this defense being pretty good, and Garrett Grayson's found that out.
Yeah, he has. He's been sacked at least 3 times so far in this game. But, you know, some of this is on the young quarterback. He's got to get rid of the ball quicker, but they are stout up front, and they just bring the pressure, and they've got a lot of mobility. They got a lot of power. That was a helmet-to-helmet hit that wasn't called. CSU's got some catching up to do.
First time the Rams have had the football in the 2nd quarter. Time of possession tilts heavily, as does the scoreboard right now, in favor of Utah State. 15.5 minutes to just 7+. This is Joe Hansley taking the direct snap. He goes off the right side. There's a hole there for a moment. Ends up being just a gain of 3. McCade Brady, one of the safeties for the Aggies, shot in there to make the tackle.
You know, the Rams are going at it again. I don't think they, oh, there he is now. I thought that Grayson wasn't even on the field, so I thought they were telegraphing they're going to do it again, but no, he is back.
Pickup of 3, 2nd down and 7. The ball at the Ram 28-yard line. And the handoff is to Tommy Morris. And Morris gets through the right side. He breaks tackles, breaks even more. He's into Aggie territory and pushed out of bounds into the Ram bench at the 45-yard line. That's the best play of the day for CSU. 27-yard pickup.
Tommy Morris, 6 foot 220, a freshman out of Odessa. Makes a move, breaks a tackle there. There's one, there's number two, there's number three. Breaking tackles and has some power. Man, getting down the field. This is the spark that Colorado State needs right now.
Boje Fili-Moyatu finally made the tackle on Morris, who got a nice block at the point of attack by the center, Weston Richburg, number 70. And now penalty flags stop this play just as it was beginning.
Joe Capriolio.
False start. 77, offense, 5 yards, second down.
77 Capriolio. I think he was trying to signal to his fellow offensive lineman right as the play was about to snap, and gets caught moving.
Penalties were a problem for Colorado State in the first 2 games of the season. They seemed to rectify the situation last week. Just 3 penalties at San Jose State. That's the 3rd flag against the Rams in this game. 1st and 15. Morris again. Up the middle. And a pickup of about 40 yards. Still second down and long to go.
What I like is that Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator for Colorado State, you hand the ball to this kid Morris. He goes 27 yards. They immediately say, let's keep handing it to him. Let's see what else he's got in the tank.
Dave Baldwin was the former offensive coordinator at Utah State, 2009 through last season. Utah State's coaching staff now includes former UNLV head coach Mike Sanford, coaches the running backs and the tight ends. Grayson, he's in trouble, and he's wrapped up. Forward progress is going to be given to the 48-yard line, or back to the 48-yard line, 3rd and long.
I think this was a design play, but it looked like a busted play. Just you wouldn't really expect your quarterback to be left all alone with like 6 defenders. Or if he just made a bad read and should have made the handoff.
Cade Cowden, number 45, the first of the 3 to get to Grayson and bring him down. So 3rd down and 13. Colorado State with very promising field position right now at midfield. And that's about as good as it's gotten for them in this game so far. Inside 4.5 left before halftime.
Here comes the blitz.
Picked up. Grayson has time. That pass is lofted out there, intended for Law. There was contact as the ball arrived. The Ram benched one of the penalty flag. They're not going to get that, and so it's 4th down. McCade Brady covering on the play along with Nevin Lawson.
This is right out of the playbook for Utah State, bring the punter back on the field for the other team, Katodiakis. But, get you in 3rd and long situations and then shut you down and say, punt us the ball back.
No pressure on Pete the Greek, as they love to call him here in Fort Collins. And that ball hangs in there inside the 5. It bounces and rolls into the end zone. That's a touchback. Nobody knew where the ball was. 48 yards on the punt for Katodiakis. And it'll be 1st down at the 25 for the Aggies, who lead at 17-0 when we come back. First half. These 2 teams last year, 36-34, a double overtime thriller in Logan, won by Colorado State. It was one of the last 4 meetings in this series, a series that dates back to 1902. This is the 69th meeting between these 2 schools that next year will become rivals in the Mountain West. Pass complete to 25, Kerwin Williams, who last week had 6 catches for 78 yards, both career highs, and a touchdown in the game in Madison, Wisconsin.
Good play by Shaq Bell there to fight off the blocker and make the tackle. And Bill, refresh my memory. Was that last drive by Utah State, was it 19 plays?
19 plays.
Wow.
7+ minutes off the clock. Opening drive of the 2nd quarter. There's a pass complete to Matt Austin. Just was brought down, shy of the 1st down. He's had a pretty good game so far. He had 2 catches for 16 yards, 11 yards, and 1 reception. That was a touchdown.
Career high 5 catches against Southern Utah this year for 119 yards.
3rd down and short, a yard to go.
Quarterback sneak.
6 of 9 on 3rd down conversions for Utah State, and that has worn down this CSU defense. And that's plenty for the 1st down. Kerwin Williams, the ball carrier.
Guess you don't.
4-yard gain, 1st down.
Gain of 4 on the play, 1st down. Coming up at the half. We're going to take you around the campus here in Fort Collins. Check out campus life at CSU, and it's good. And we'll also have stats and highlights of what we've seen in the first 30 minutes. Most of those highlights authored by the Aggies of Utah State. Pass is complete to number 18, and that's Bruce Natson.
Pass complete to Bruce Natson. 3-yard
Natson, not a
gain.
big guy, 5'7", 145. True freshman from Oakland Park, Florida.
So you and you are the same size.
We were at one point.
Right. So was I. You can believe that. I was only 6 pounds 8 ounces when I was born. I put on weight.
Here's Williams. Straight up the middle. Breaking tacklers. He's not going to get past Shaq Bell, but that's a big, big play for the Utah State ground game. 27 yards.
Man, big hole for him, and then just some strong running. Breaks a tackle there, and then he's got some speed. Shaq Bell, that might be a touchdown saving tackle right there. But just some explosion and balance through the hole. I like this kid. He runs strong.
Austin Gray had a shot at him, but instead of squaring up, he tried to hit him from the side, and that enabled him to break that tackle and pick up even bigger yards. Travis Van Leeuwen.
You wonder how much fatigue is going to start to play in this game, because Utah State, it's like watching a tennis match where you're playing against Roger Federer and he hits to this corner and then to that corner and you're running back and forth. They keep throwing these swing passes. The whole defense has to sprint to the sideline and then get up and walk back the huddle and sprint to the other sideline, and you wonder in the second half if they're going to be out of gas.
And these long passes to the sidelines are essentially just long handoffs that are picking up 3-4 yards. That was to Van Leeuwen. And again, Utah State with a very quick-paced offense. Keaton fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and is hit out of bounds inside
Quarterback Chucky Keaton keeps.
in the 28-yard line, close to the 27. And that picks up the 18th first down of the first half for Utah State.
Man. And, they gave themselves, they had 3rd and 1 right there. And so, you look at the first downs, Utah State, 19 of them, CSU just 3. But you look at the setup of the plays. So Utah State has a 3rd and short. CSU has been majoring in 3rd and long.
And it's 1st down and 10 with inside a minute left to play. That pass is caught by Matt Austin. He dropped the football. It's picked up by Bell. He's going to take a knee wisely. And Colorado State is able to get the first turnover of the game and keep Utah State off the scoreboard before the break.
Great job on the turnover. Shaq Bell should still be running with this ball. The ball comes out. He picks it up. You've got a bunch of offensive linemen on the field. You only have about 4 players who can tackle you after you pick this up. Here comes the fumble. Nice trip down the sideline. He should be gone right now. Oh, he should have been gone.
How journey of you. Huh? Just pick that up. Steve Perry. 9th fumble of the season for Utah State. 4th time they've lost the ball. And they were working in a hurry to try to get some points on the board before halftime. That snap taking place with 58 seconds to go. Colorado State has the ball now with 49 seconds left before intermission. Pass complete to Charles Lovett. And he's pushed out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Colorado State does have 3 timeouts remaining.
Charles Lovett.
I think the Rams are, you can see them like learning in front of our eyes. I think that Shaq Bell will look at that play on film and think, okay, these are these moments. They just pop up in a play. Fortune has smiled on us. I've got this ball. I've got one wide receiver to beat who's close to me. Then I've got 6 guys who are offensive linemen and tight ends, a quarterback who maybe is not going to be able to come and tackle me. I have a huge advantage. I might be able to return this thing out to the 40 and set our offense up. Those are the moments that you can't squander in a game like this.
There's Joe Brown on the carry. And we have a Ram who just did get up. And that's number 70. That's Weston Richburg, the all-conference center, who is being helped off and is not putting any weight on his right foot. And that would be a tremendous loss for Colorado State. Any plays that Weston Richburg misses is a huge loss for CSU. Here's a guy who has started every game since his freshman All-America campaign back in 2010. He redshirted in 09. And Colorado State content to keep the ball on the ground and just let the clock wind down. I'm a little surprised because you were talking a moment ago about how we're seeing this team learn a few things. I thought perhaps we would see them use the timeouts and see how they can work the clock with 42 seconds to go.
Seize the moment. Use your timeouts. Throw the ball down the field. You had 30 seconds to try to make something happen. And, you know, you're down 17-0. I know that, well, now here comes the deep ball, but, you know, that should have been the first play that you run. You know, you're down 17-0. You don't want to make it worse before halftime, but you may have an opportunity to make something happen, build some momentum.
Pass intended for Charles Lovett. For Colorado State, 6 seconds away. Last play coming up. The last time the Rams were held scoreless in the first half, go back to November 20th of 2010, and that was that debacle of a loss at Wyoming.
Last time Utah State held someone to no touchdowns in the first half was last week against Wisconsin, and the week before that against Utah, and the week before that against Southern Utah.
It's an outstanding defensive team, and the offense has been pretty good today. And that will end the first half of play here in Fort Collins. Utah State has taken a 17-0 lead, and they'll take that 3-score advantage into the locker room. Both teams head to the same tunnel to exit the field. And so let's go down to our Natalie Vickers, who's with Jim McElwain.
Well, Coach, you said going into the game they can't get comfortable. They seem to be doing just that on offense until, of course, that last stop. That was huge going into the half.
You know, we'll take that and hopefully take it with a little momentum going in. We need to get together and just lock in a plan, let our guys, you know, get into the flow of it a little bit. We just have been all over the place and haven't established anything, and that's something we've got to do to get going.
Well, that on offensively, it seems like good play calling, not executing though. It seems.
Well, it seems to be that.
Yeah.
That seems to be the story of the year so far. But you know what? We'll go in there, get these guys right, come out and fight, you know, and put up a good fight this second half.
All right, Coach,
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Coach. We come to halftime in Fort Collins with Colorado State on the wrong end of the scoreboard at home, trailing Utah State by a score of 17-0. Utah State scored first, owned the football much of the half. They own the lead right now.